Hello. The new movie I've chosen for you is called SOS. Now, um, the story starts with two sisters, Kate and Liz. Kate is the adult, and Liz is a teenager. So they are taking a trip to, I think it must be Greece. There's a lot of seaside and shores that like landscapes that you see throughout the movie. So I think it must be Greece, but I'm not 100% sure. On the on the other hand, happening in parallel, we have a couple. So one of the Baldwin brothers um, and a woman that are talking about how much they like each other and also the business that they're running together. So this business becomes relevant later. Now the business is actually um, supposedly they're working at that hotel, but there's something more sinister going on as well. So our two main characters, Liz and Kate, arrive at the hotel and they've lost their documents. I think they lost their passports. But at any rate, the hotel allows them to stay the night. From there, Kate, who's the adult, she's not that tired. She takes a shower, whereas Liz, who's the teenager, feels very drowsy and she takes a nap and she sleeps. Now, Kate, who's just taken a shower, thinks of maybe going downstairs to get some snacks. The hotel is not a huge hotel and the kitchen is closed, so the staff or the concierge says that you need to go down to the bar in order to get something to eat. So she does dress up and goes down to the bar. Of course, there's a lot of dancing going on there. She gets something to eat and also to drink, and she comes across a woman who is very friendly, and they dance together. And she completely loses track of time, and apparently she spent the whole night in the nightclub. They form a group, so that is Kate and the woman she met at the bar and danced with, and also two men. And one of them has a car, and they take off from the hotel and go toward some destination. I did mention earlier that one of the Baldwin brothers, I just call him Alec. I'm not sure which one it is. They look very similar. So Alec was partnered up with a woman, and they were talking about their plans, and they supposedly worked at the hotel. And the woman in this couple is exactly this woman who's taken Kate out on a balloon ride, and of course throughout the night she chatted with her and danced with her and sort of accompanied her throughout the night. So all along, the plan is for Kate to be distracted by this woman, let's call her Alice, so that Alec Baldwin can go into the room and sort of posing as a service person, taking room service to Kate's room, and take her belongings and cash and so on. While all this is happening, little Liz wakes up and she finds that she's on her own in the hotel room, and Kate is nowhere to be found. But they're all in contact together via pinging, so they send coordinates, and Liz knows that Kate is not in the hotel, and she's driving to some location, which obviously corresponds to what Kate is doing. She's going with the group towards the balloon, and they park there and get into the balloon. So that's the last coordinate that she sends little Liz. Yeah, so the let's say first 5 or 10 minutes of the balloon ride are pretty joyous. They're still celebrating from the night before and having drinks and so on. But then they get very close to windmills. Like there's a series of windmills, and they're at a very low altitude, so that the windmills are actually very close to hitting them. And they try to desperately ascend, but it's too late and the windmill does hit them. The two men get injured, seriously injured. One completely is taken out of the carrier, the passenger carrier basket or whatever it's called, and he's hanging on from a rope. The other man gets injured seriously and he's bleeding. The two women, so Alice the thief and Kate, are okay for now. They do manage to gain some altitude, so it just wasn't done on time. They could have definitely ascended and avoided all this trouble, injury, and death if they had seen the windmills on time and acted accordingly, but they didn't. But essentially, they do. So one man dies, of course, he gets thrown off the balloon, and the other one is seriously injured. Anyway, they ascend and they go over above the clouds. Alec Baldwin is also on the phone confirming that he went into the room, and little Liz does hide because she can hear someone coming into the room, and she hides in a cupboard. He does see her, but she screams at the top of her lungs and runs out of the hotel room and goes down to the concierge. Things are looking pretty dire for Kate and the thief Alice, who are left now on their own. They, of course, don't know how to steer a balloon. And it turns out the man who got them on the balloon has a boss, and this balloon belongs to his boss. And he's just someone who worked for a company and had access to this balloon. He's no way an owner. And he just did this to impress the women. The balloon is spotted by multiple people at sea. So, of course, they traverse the city and then they come onto water because it is a coastal area. A lot of yachts and stuff do spot it also. There seems to be like a coastal police that sees them as well. But they don't necessarily see them in distress because they're a little bit high up and it's difficult to notice something like that. Now, the two girls think of what they can do. There's a piece of fabric hanging from the balloon, so they take that and write out SOS. So there was a lipstick one of them had, and then that wasn't enough, so the girl had to use her blood. So I'm not going to go into the detail of how she did that. But from there, meanwhile, at the hotel, I did say that little Liz ran down to the concierge to report that a strange man came into a room, and the concierge is just very dismissive, and he says that nothing like that happens at our hotel. So what he does, I might have forgotten to say that Liz and Kate are American and they're on holiday, and because Liz is a minor, she needs supervision, of course. So what the concierge of the hotel does is to ring the American embassy, and before you know it, a caseworker comes to assist, and she takes Liz away. Supposedly, she wants to take her back to the embassy because, of course, she's a minor. And then, in parallel, some things also happen in the balloon. The man who was severely injured then also falls into the water, so he's gone. Kate does try to send down a rope for him, but it's too late. The man was injured; he couldn't swim in the water, and he perished. And also, some local people were reporting things being thrown out of somewhere. They didn't notice the balloon, but they got hit by items that were thrown out of the balloon. They were throwing things out in order to ascend and do other things. And it was hitting people, but they didn't know how that was happening. And like some swimmers got injured, and the police on the ground was investigating this. Now, I did mention that Alice the Thief and Alec Baldwin were together, but then we have a screen in which Alec has taken the money and he drives off with another girl. So he has betrayed Alice. So that's the end of their relationship, whatever it was. And in the balloon, they're losing altitude again. They try to reignite the burner in the balloon, so they try to use some fabric and use the sunlight to create some fire, and they reignite the burner, so they go up a bit. But again, that's temporary. The balloon does descend eventually. They also try to attract attention, so the SOS fabric doesn't work. They just no one was there to see it, and they burn another few stuff to create some smoke, gather attention. But it seems that it's a very deserted sea and shore and coast, because they do all sorts of things to attract attention. No one seems to be around to see anything, and the handful of boats and yachts that see them don't notice anything. So it's just one of those things that just so unlucky, and things go wrong. Kate and Alice in the balloon managed to find some signal, and they ping Liz another time. And in parallel to this, the caseworker who was sent from the American embassy to process Liz and take her back to the embassy, also seems to be a very impressionable person, so she accepts anything Liz says. Liz says that I have been pinged by Kate earlier, so I know where she's been. And they drive out to the side where the group's car was parked, and they find a telephone, an iPhone, and a video recording of them getting into the balloon. So they know that they're in the balloon. And because the two girls in the balloon managed to find some signal, they ping Liz again, and she knows that they're in the water. With the help of the caseworker, they find an inflatable vessel, and they paddle their way into the sea to find the two girls, and they manage to rescue them. So that's the story, and I guess the morale is that don't leave a minor at the hotel while you party throughout the night into the morning. Don't get into a balloon with strangers, and you should be fine. I hope you liked it. Thank you.